What's up again, guys? I know in the last clip I was saying that it might be the last thing I made for today's video, but I mean, I didn't really have anything to do, so I was like, might as well come out and talk to you guys a little more, you know? Um, I was kind of reviewing, right, that last kind of post-workout clip that I had for you guys, and I apologize if I sound like some kind of like incel or something. Definitely not what I'm trying to come off as. Um, I was listening to it and I was like, dude, I'm probably gonna have someone over here thinking I'm like the Supreme Gentleman 2.0 or something like that. You guys might know who's that referring. You guys might know who that is referring to. I don't remember the damn dude's name. Um, but yeah, definitely did not mean to come off that way if that's how it did. Um, but I just wanted to let you guys know I did forget one thing that I wanted to let you guys know that I'm really interested in. That's professional wrestling. Um, I've been a big fan of professional wrestling since I was 5 years old. Um, love WWE, AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, everything like that. Um, even go to a few like indie shows. I actually did do some beginner training with the New Japan facility down in Carson, California. Um, so I did that, and it was really fun, really cool, because I do want to try to get into that kind of industry, right? Professional wrestling, everything like that. Um, and I was gonna go for like the kind of intermediate class that comes after the beginning, right? But I ended up breaking my right hand, like right over here by the pinky finger. I ended up breaking that, so I was out for like 3-4 months, unfortunately. Um, and since then, I just haven't really found the time to kind of get back into it because I've been working and stuff like that. Um, also, was that also kind of is one of the reasons why too. I'm also big into fitness because I'm like, hey, dude, if I want to be a professional wrestler, I gotta look the part. You know what I mean? Like, if you guys happen to know anything about like professional wrestling, especially on like the AEW side, everyone kind of getting on Adam Cole for how he is like not the biggest guy. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's always been my thing. It's like I gotta look the part if I want to go for that too. So that's something that's kind of driven me in the gym as well. But I do have other aspirations, kind of dreams that I want to try to manifest, right? Sorry if the glare is kind of looking a little crazy. Sorry about that. But yeah, professional wrestling, want to try to get into that. I've also always really had a lot of appreciation for like voice acting, voiceover work, stuff like that. So that's something I definitely want to try to get into as well. Whether it be, like I said, radio, voiceovers, voice acting, anything like that, is definitely a field that I want to try to get into myself. I I've worked at a lot of places these days. I always like, no matter where I'm working, I always get people saying like, hey man, like you should be doing like radio or something like that. Something kind of like where you could really use your voice. I don't know if it might be kind of hard to really kind of hear it or anything because of the potato quality of the audio right now. But once I get a mic, hopefully you guys should be able to kind of hear it. Um, so yeah, voice acting, voiceover work, that's something I really want to get into as well. Or even just like regular acting in general. I've always had a real appreciation for like the art side of it. Like just the ability to play so many different people and like do it convincingly, right? It's always been something that kind of like blows my mind a little bit. I'll just cover that right there. Let's see. I don't want to be doing nothing weird, you know? Yeah, let's go right there. It might look a little weird, but whatever. Yeah, so I really want to try to get into just like regular acting as well. That's obviously tough field to try to get into, right? Professional wrestling, voice acting, acting in general is a field that like how many other people are trying to get into it, So it's one there's definitely going to be a lot of competition, you know. But hey, I love competition, so that's something I do want to try to get into as well. Stuff that I've been trying to kind of work on the side while also working like a regular job, right? Because I need money. Don't want to be broke, you know. So yeah, those are kind of just like my dreams and aspirations right now that I really want to try to really put in the forefront for 2025 and hopefully make a lot of strides in those kind of areas. Um, I know another thing, something that's always kind of like tickled my brain a little bit as well. I want to really like dedicate myself to learning an instrument, like truly not mastering it, but truly like learning it, right? So I know I like a little bit of the piano, but it's something where it's like I'd rather want to try to like really master it, or something where I'd want to really try to learn how to play like the acoustic guitar. Um, I think that would be a really fun instrument to learn. And I feel like it's one of those things where it's I want to, honestly, I want to try to get into like singing and stuff like that too. Um, but it's definitely something that one's gonna have to be worked on because I gotta first figure out how to play an instrument. Um, like an instrument to the level at which it would need to be played. So yeah, kind of my dreams and aspirations. Um, I mean, I'd love to hear what you guys really want to try to achieve. Love to hear what you kind of want to really put in the forefront for 2025. Because I feel like it'd just be really interesting to talk about. Other than that, what I really want to kind of try to get into. I apologize. I'll just put my face right here so you guys don't have to worry about it as much. Um, but yeah, that's really what I want to try to do with my year is make strides in these kind of like fields that I want to get into. Yeah, so I mean, hopefully it goes good. Um, I do kind of have like a crazy story I was thinking about because I have this water jug, right? I would always hear, especially when I was really trying to get into fitness at first, right? You would always hear like, oh, you got to drink like a gallon of water a day if you want to, kind of be healthy, stay hydrated. So that's what I'll do. I'll drink like a full gallon of water. And I kind of have one right here. Sorry about the light, guys. But I have the full gallon thing right here, right? So I'll drink the whole thing. Honestly, I would even drink a gallon and a half, 2 gallons sometimes a day. Because I did honestly get to a point where I was like, I'll just drink when I got bored. Like drink the water when I got bored, which I know probably wasn't the best thing. But, you drink water, you figure you're not going to have any like ill side effects or nothing's going to happen. But for like honestly like the second half or a majority of 2024, I felt like super, I don't know what's the word, right? Like super low energy, super, like I'd always be kind of like dizzy and kind of out of it a little bit. Like my brain just felt kind of cloudy. Like even I'll try to describe it to people and I was like, I don't know how to really do it other than just like I didn't feel normal. I didn't feel like how I should. So I ended up one day I was at work and I was just standing up at the front desk, right? And I got like super dizzy, like I was about to pass out or something. So I had to let my manager know. I was like, dude, I got to leave a little early because I got to go to the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room like right after. I'm over here driving myself to the emergency room all kind of like looped out, like dizzy, can't really like, I'm all whacked out. And it's like, probably shouldn't have been driving myself, but I don't have anyone else to drive me. So I went there and they took blood and everything. And they're asking me like, oh, like, do you work out a lot, stuff like that? I was like, yeah. And they're like, well, like, how much water do you drink? What's your diet kind of looking like? And with me, I get super extreme with like my diets and stuff. So like right now, right, I'm cutting. So breakfast, I'll have half a cup of oatmeal with protein powder, a granola bar, like a protein granola bar, and an apple. That'll be my pre-workout meal, right? And then after I work out, kind of like what I was saying a little earlier in the video, right? I'd have a pound of chicken, a pound of ground chicken, a cup of egg whites, and a cup of white rice. But for the longest, what I was doing, I wouldn't season my food at all. No salt, no pepper, no nothing. Like just the food right there itself. Um, and I totally avoid sugar, right? Like it's the plague. Like if I saw something even had like 2, 3 grams of sugar, I was like, I'm not eating it. I'm like sorry guys, I can't have none. That's how I was. So I told them that at the emergency room, and they were taking a look at my blood and everything, and they were like, sorry about that. They're like, yeah, you've just been having way too much water. So I'm kind of flushing everything out at that point. Way too much water and not nearly enough salt and sugar. So because also how much water I was having, it was just flushing everything out. So I wasn't retaining anything. So they were like, yeah, dude, you're just like extremely dehydrated. They're like, you got to cut down the water, you got to increase the salt, and you got to increase the sugar. Um, and then I didn't even find that out. Like I was going, like I said, right? I was going like almost the whole year feeling like that. And I didn't go until like the last few months of the year, like maybe 3, 4 months before the year ended is when I went to the ER. And they were like, yeah, you gotta lower the water intake, increase salt, sugar, stuff like that, and you'll be fine. They're like, drink things with like a lot of electrolytes, stuff like that. And then so I started doing that, right? I started getting like Gatorades, Powerades, stuff like that. I got these like hydration packets that I put in my water. Um, and I started having more sugar in terms of like, let's say like the protein granola bar I eat, right? That has probably about like 5 grams of sugar, which is not crazy, but it's still like something that before I wouldn't even fathom trying to consume. But I also have more like fruits now for like kind of natural sugars, right? Um, and then salt. I actually put salt in my food now because before I always just tell people, right? I'm like, dude, I don't put any salt, no seasonings, nothing. I just go for it, and they'll always be like, dude, you're crazy. And I'm like, hey man, I'm just like, I got a dream physique that I'm trying to chase right here. I'm like, I gotta go with it. So yeah, I was like, the whole year I was feeling terrible, bad. Like I did not feel normal at all. And then once I made that change, right, increase or decrease the water, increase electrolytes, sugar, salt. Like now I feel back to normal. You know. Um, so that's one of the things that really has me excited about 2025 too. Where it's like I feel 2024 was such a mess of me not feeling healthy for the most part of it, to where I'm like, now I'm going into 2025 feeling healthy, right? Everything feels how it should feel, and I'm like, hopefully, we can really cook here with 2025, do something big. So I'm really excited looking at 2025. Hopefully, make all the dreams a reality, Um, like I said, I'd love to hear what you guys kind of want to do with your 2025. Um, like I said, leave a comment in the video, or leave a comment on the video. Um, if you want, add me on Instagram. Talk to me there if you want. I'm not doing nothing, so I mean, I'm always here, open ear, right? I love being a listener, so that's one thing too. It's kind of weird. Like I'm making I'm gonna start making these videos, right? And it's like I'm not the biggest talker, honestly. Like if you were to meet anyone who like knows of me or worked with me or whatever, like they'll say like, oh, he doesn't really talk that much, keeps more to himself and stuff like that. And it's like, that's true. I don't really talk like that. But I mean, granted, here it's more of like, I want to kind of get some stuff out. I want to make people feel less lonely. So I'm like, hey, I might as well, right? Like, this is stuff, like everything that I've kind of talked to you guys about today, right? Except for like kind of introducing myself, is stuff that I'll be going through in my head, that I'll just kind of be like, I don't know if ruminating is the right word, but kind of just like mulling over in my head constantly. Like I said, like what really pushed me to make these videos was the situation that happened with the girl that, just happened. And it's like, I want to make these videos because if not, I'm just sitting at home thinking about it, thinking about her, and that's not healthy. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't mind having a yap a lot because hopefully it's going to work out, right? I'm going to make people feel less lonely. I'm going to build a community truly. Um, and like, yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, also, it's like, it's not weird or anything too, because like talking to you guys, and it's more of like, I'm talking to you guys, right? But for me right here, it's just me in a car by myself, right? So I'm just yapping, like I said, like I'd be yapping to myself if I was by myself. So it takes like a lot of pressure off me in that way. Um, so I'm like, hopefully everything's cooking. Like I said, or like I keep saying, um, should hopefully have a new camera soon. Honestly, I'm probably gonna go out later today and see if I can find a good microphone. Or did I say camera? Maybe a good camera one day. Definitely a good mic is what I wanted to say. I'm gonna go out later today, hopefully see if I can find one anywhere at like my local stores. I don't know if they will, so I might end up having to order one. But hopefully I should, in a perfect world, have a new microphone by tomorrow. And that'll be real cool. Like I said, I know it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, obviously, right, it's a new channel. I'm doing something like this, which isn't, I don't think, exactly popular, because I'm just kind of here in a car talking to you guys. You know, it's nothing like groundbreaking. Um, so I don't like, I'm not expecting like, especially on the first video, right, to have a bunch of comments or people like kind of wanting to be a part of this community, right? Because like I've been saying, I want to make this a community where I want people to not feel alone. You know, um, I want to be there for people. I want people who want to be there for other people. Um, because I feel like it's one of those things where myself personally on YouTube, I haven't really seen anyone making that kind of content or kind of trying to push that idea, right? Where it's like, I don't want people to be alone. And it's like, that's why I'm just kind of here talking to you guys too. It is like a little more, I guess, intimate, right? Especially because I don't have any like background music or anything, but that's mostly because I don't know if I'd get hit with like copyright or anything like that. So it's just me talking to you guys. The only sound we get, if you guys can hear it, is like outside of my car. Um, but it's one of those things where it's like, even with the video quality, right? I'm just recording on my phone. Even with the video quality and the audio quality right now, I still kind of want to keep it that way in a sense, right? I want it to feel like have that little bit of charm, right? Where it's like a little rough around the edges. Like I don't want to be going like too like fancy with the video, you know, making it like I'm gonna be over here getting sponsored by like Raid Shadow Legends or something. You know what I mean? So it's like I want to just keep it. I want to keep it intimate like this, intimate with the charm of just me, a guy talking with a camera and a microphone. Like I said, the weather right now where I live is like fairly cold, like fairly cold outside. I know it might not really look like it because I hear, look at me right here sitting in a tank, but that's because my car's off right now and I get hot really easy, honestly. Um, so I needed something to be like a little cool, so I'm not dying in front of you guys. Um, but yeah, what was it saying? Oh yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to bring kind of content where I'm just like walking around. You know what I mean? Walking around talking to you guys, so at least you guys would be able to like look at some stuff visually. Um, just kind of like I guess the life going around where I live, you know. So hopefully that should be coming soon. Um, I don't think it should be too cold. Well, here's the thing about like where I live, it's cold, but it's also really windy, you know. So especially if I were to go walking around outside right now, like I worst thing I would want is for you guys to just be hearing a bunch of like random wind just like destroying your ears, you know. Um, so that's one thing I got to kind of figure out as well. Hopefully, depending on what kind of mic I get, that can kind of cancel that out. Um, but um, you know, should be good. Um, like I was saying earlier, I'm gonna go try to see if I can find a microphone anywhere, like a good mic for you guys. Um, as of right now, can't really think of too much else to talk about. Um, you know, so I just kind of wanted to drop in real quick. I know this little segment's not the longest, but it was something that was kind of on my mind. I felt like might as well do it real quick. But I'm not sure, once again, not sure if I'm going to be making another clip for today. Possibly. I feel like there might not be. I mean, obviously, you guys will know because you'll see when the video ends, right? But I think this, if I had to give it like a percentage, right, I'd say this is probably, I'd say 70. No, let's go 65. 65% chance that this is the last little piece for today's video, January 9th. Yeah, January 9th, 2025, right? Um, but like I said, we'll see. I don't know if later tonight, maybe when it gets a little darker, if I want to drive somewhere and kind of talk to you guys about something else. But I appreciate anyone who checks out this video, right? You matter. You always matter. Like I said, if you do feel alone, don't feel like, or if you feel alone, well, you got me now. So, like I said, hit me up in the comments, hit me up on Instagram if you want. If you need someone to talk to, I'll be here. I'm always like an open ear, right? Like I'm not doing anything, so feel free if you want to, you know. And like I said, hopefully we'll be able to start building like a pretty wicked community right here where we can just like help people, you know. That's the main goal, helping people. All right, guys, so if this is the end of the video for today, peace. You know, appreciate you guys, like I said, and I hope and look forward to seeing you guys in the next one, you know. Like I said, leave a comment, hit up the Instagram if you want. I could always go with the classic, like, what is it all the YouTubers say, right? They're like and subscribe, click the notification bell, you know, stuff like that. Obviously, you don't have to, you know, do whatever you want. I'm not your boss or anything, you know what I mean? Who am I to tell you what to do? So, all right, guys. See you later. If it's the last clip of the day, keep on keeping on. I think on a lot of my stuff I have from Joe Dirt, right? I don't know if you guys seen that movie, Joe Dirt. Life's a Garden. Dig it. So, all right, guys. See you later. Stay keeping it real, right?